for Gold Sessions 25. Woof. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very interesting young man with us here today. Beyond talented. Lead vocalist and guitarist of Sailing Stone. And I'll call him a political activist out there on social media. Nick Chiapparino is with us.
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Hunt for Gold Sessions with your host, as always, and forever, Jeffrey Albert is here. And to be honest, Nick, how do you feel?
I'm feeling good, man. Happy to be here.
Dude, honestly, when I hit you up, I was like, you know what? This is going to be fucking awesome. This is going to be fucking awesome.
I was so excited when I'd actually talked with my friends about how cool it would be to be on here before.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I swear.
You're bullshitting.
I swear to me and John Welch, you can ask him if you see him. I've been like, I don't know, I just felt like we'd have an interesting talk.
Fuck yeah. Wow. All right, so start it off that way.
Yeah.
People, I want to let everybody know right now is that this podcast has changed my fucking life. Because me and you were talking before in the break, and each person on here has such an impact on me personally. So I'm happy that you're fucking here.
Oh yeah,
no,
I've watched some of your a lot of your podcasts before, and you know, the big thing is just open discussion, I think, and opening yourself up to kind of new information, new points of view. Whether you agree with it or not, it's, you know, the more information, the better.
Biggest piece right there. Whether you agree with it or not, it's
Totally.
there. It's there to soak it up. And to be honest with you, last time I saw you, we were at Issa's event.
Yes.
Exhibition 2. Shout-outs to Issa, Brie Cadella for having the dopest event out. But we tried our chalkboard project.
Yes.
And this chalkboard project, people that haven't seen it, pretty much came up with this idea. It's like, all right, imagine you put a question on a chalkboard, put it in New York City, and just left it there for 24 hours.
Yeah. Whatever
that question was. And we put the question on the board. It was like, what is your gold? It's what Hunt for Gold stands for.
Yeah.
And you know what you and your sister wrote on the board?
I remember it was be present, make music. I think.
Simple as fucking that. And right there, I was like, I looked at it when you wrote it. I was like, I'm going to hit this man up for sessions. Right then and there, I said, this band is made for Hunt for Gold Sessions right away.
There we go. Awesome.
And the first piece, being present.
Yeah.
Why that? Why write that? Let's start with being present. Why write that?
That's sort of a big philosophy for me. It started that way, I guess after high school. I started to lose touch with my religious side of myself that was once there. And I stopped believing in God in any sort of, really, in any of the beyond the physical world. I became very, if there's not evidence for it, I'm not totally on board with it. And it kind of left a hole. And to fill that hole, I started, for a while, I was just sort of confused about stuff. How do I reckon death? How do I reckon all this stuff without, you know, structured religion? And I started watching these videos. A guy named Alan Watts was who first, like, that was my first. That name, yeah, he's an American Buddhist philosopher.
Yeah.
He was back in like the 50s, and his big thing was to sort of be as aware of the present moment as you possibly can. And I know that's a big thing in like Taoist Buddhism. And I think it's, I just think it's a tremendously important thing that a lot of people don't do, and I don't always do. And you find yourself wasting your time if you're not fully aware of what you're doing in the moment, and you just wind up missing out on stuff.
Bro, I'm about to give you a round of applause, dude, because that right there, being in the exact, our society is okay. Go to high school, graduate, go to college, meet a girl, meet a man, get married, pay your bills. And you're always looking towards the future.
Yes, you're always climbing the ladder to meet an end that doesn't necessarily exist. And you know, what are you doing it for? It's just going to end one day with, like, I never understood. I was having this
I love it. I love
beautiful.
It.
I was having this talk with John Welch actually the other day on
John Welch one time.
Yeah, shout out to John.
Dropping his name a couple times.
Yeah, no, I know, because I have these kind of talks with him a lot. And we were talking on Xbox about sort of expectations that society has, for whatever reason, we've built up in a capitalist society. You build expectations. You have to go work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, however many days a week, live a certain way, like you said, meet a girl. And it strikes me as weird, and there's all this pressure that's put on you at a very young age.
Beyond young.
Yeah,
Dude. When
18,
you are,
I don't know what I
whatever,
want now.
17, 16, you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like,
I don't know.
I
Alive? I have no
alive
idea.
and well, healthy,
Yeah.
I guess. Hanging out with friends, like that's all you think. You don't
Yeah.
even know what you want.
I have to pick some job I have to do for the rest of my life that's going to take up all my time. And then, it better be something you love, because if it's not something you love, that's where all your time's going. And I get people do it to make money, but where do you have time to spend the money if you're, working all the time? So it's...
dude, right there, preaching to the fucking choir.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir.
I mean, that's at least how I'm kind of a bum, but I enjoy, I'm trying to enjoy my time as much as I can. So.
Life.
Yeah.
Enjoying fucking life, whatever it is. It's making music, and we're going to come back to this making music piece, but this being present chalkboard piece that you and your sister wrote, it really took me back, because once I saw it, I turned right around to the event, and Stevie's on the boards fucking killing it. Like, I see his eyes, and he's just fucking going off. I'm like, oh my God. And at that point, you just think about, like, look where we're at.
Yeah.
Look who the people you're around. Embrace that. And just enjoy that one moment that in time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's one of those things you take for granted.
100%.
Each night you go out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just say, hey, whatever, see you later, see you never, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's, it's great. It's, that's one of the things I love about, that's why I think make music goes well with Be Present, because it's one of the few activities where you don't really have a choice but to kind of be in it when you're doing it. So when you're performing, when you're DJing, when you're doing whatever, you have to sort of be fully committed to what you're doing in order to give the most honest and kind of get the best out of yourself in the performance. And if you take that mentality and push it to anything else, it's, it can only do good. So
Yes. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Chiapparino is here.
All right.
God damn. The thing is, bro, is that I felt it. I just felt that you would be the perfect guest to fill the fucking hot seat this week.
I'm glad, man. Awesome.
Because when you're just saying how conversation is so important to just be open.
Yeah.
And how it doesn't matter where the information is coming from, listen to it. Take it with a grain of salt, even if you disagree.
Yeah.
Because I see people all over the fucking internet that think the world is flat, for example. And it's like, my man, are you okay?
Seriously. I've had talks with those people. I was telling you before, I had a talk on Twitter with a flat earther. Nicest guy ever. He's a great dude. Very
Referring
friendly.
to someone as a flat earther is
Oh man, it's mind blowing. It's like I don't know what century I'm living in. It's crazy.
It's the 1400s.
Yeah, but he's obviously wrong about that. But I'm really interested in kind of how people come to believe what they believe and what they value, and sort of what drives their thinking. Which is one of the reasons I like to. One of the reasons I post as much on Facebook about these political opinions that people don't always love is because I'm just naturally a contrarian, and I like to argue with people and talk through stuff. Another part of it is I'm really interested in why people think a certain way. I just think it's fascinating, and it's everyone kind of comes to different conclusions for different reasons and trusts different sources for different reasons, and it's really interesting to me.
Wow. That is, the psychology part of it, of your values and how you're raised and what is held at a higher point just because of where it comes from.
Yeah, and a lot of that's
awesome.
Beyond your control even, it's I talk with my buddies about Nickelodeon kids versus Cartoon Network kids and how they grew up different. I think it probably had a big impact on your sense of humor. Cartoon Network kids are probably weirder, and it's you don't have any
weirdest show.
Yeah, totally, dude. If you watch Courage the Cowardly Dog too much, you're gonna be your brain's coming out of your ears after a while. But
that show is fucking crazy.
It was horrifying. I can't. It scares me now.
Dude, it's just you see. It's look at this thing. Look at this. What the fuck? But then you have Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Most culturally diverse show.
Totally, man.
All about tolerance.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with either way. It's just people. It molds you in a different way, and you don't really have control over that, and you don't. choose to be molded like that, and it totally informs how you exist as a person. And that's just one example, obviously, but that goes for all external stimuli, or even like how your brain is made up. You don't have control over that. So it's different. It's weird how people are different and for what reasons they're different and see things differently.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Soak it in. From Cartoon Network philosophy.
Yeah, there we go.
Think about where we're headed these days. Ladies and gentlemen, Hunt for Gold Sessions 25. Oh, feels good. It really does, man, because you have all these groups of people, different individuals, passions, experiences, perspectives, and I'm fucking thankful for a new one. Nick Chiapparino is with us, folks, and you better stay with us, listener, because we got some very, very important things to talk about. And to start it off right here, I came across an artist. His name is Buddy. He works with, Third Wave, shout outs to R, said, Jazz, you're going to love this. It's a Pharrell, Gold Link, J, little like Kaytranada S, a EP all produced by him. It's like, all right, let's see what we got here. The funk. It's all about. This is Buddy. Guillotine. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Hunt for Gold Sessions 25. Your host, Jeffrey Albert. Hey people, welcome back. Hunt for Gold Sessions 25 with yours truly. Jeffrey Albert is here. Nick Chiapparino in the house, man.
What's up, guys?
He is here. And people, I just want to let you know that we were just talking about this man's father has an afro.
My dad doesn't really have an afro. But shout out to John Whalen, who knows that he secretly really does. And I'm not even going to explain the inside joke.
We don't got to go into it.
There's not much to it other than it's growing and it's eating my whole family. But
comes from
hopefully John sees it.
This stems from the brain of a kindergartner.
Yeah,
this
it's an inside joke between me and John in first grade maybe. So
when I hit him up when I hit him up today and I was like, yo, I'm having Nick Chiapparino on, he was like, first thing, ask him about his dad's afro. I was like, yo, I got it now.
Yeah.
I got it. I had an afro once. Me and your dad probably get along
yeah,
great.
Totally. Yeah.
Just about afro coming in it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
Oh my. People, we have just been talking about the difference between a Cartoon Network kid and a Nickelodeon kid.
Yeah.
That right there knocks it off. Being present, doing all these things. And that was the game Dreams. So I was listening to the documentary on the way home from work today. And I was like, wow, old school rap. Nothing like it.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like it. But people, speaking about this chalkboard project, and you said the making music part.
Yep.
Right? Making music is a totally different realm of talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the piece that really struck me was how or what or who pushed you to make music?
Speaking of my dad is a singer.
Oh shit! No
yeah,
way.
my dad's always been a singer, great singer, Frank Sinatra kind of stuff. He owns a DJ
Sinatra?
company. I not so well, but my dad can knock it out of the park.
No way.
Yeah, but
that's awesome.
yeah, I got a softer voice than him. But and my sister was singing her whole life as a result, and I never really. It took me a long time to really find I always loved the Frank Sinatra stuff. I couldn't really sing like it. As a result of that, I grew up kind of thinking that, my voice is not particularly good. I thought I could hold a tune. And then around high school, I'm going to say maybe junior year, I really started to explore other avenues of I listened to more acoustic music, more folky stuff. I was always a big classic rock guy, but I can't sing like that either. So I listened to more acoustic
Who
stuff.
are your favorite artists?
Oh, man. I was a big...
This is always a conversation.
Yeah.
It's top 5.
Yeah, it's such a difficult... There's so many, but I was... Led Zeppelin was huge for me. Right now, a big Bob Dylan guy. There's a lot of current artists I really dig, who everyone should check out, is Matt Corby. Matt
Corby.
Freakishly talented. But going to his... I saw him live. It was like being in church, praying at the altar of the Lord. The man is
That's
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah, so check him out. But I like a lot of stuff though, and it's always tough to choose favorites.
To be honest with you, I really appreciate someone that makes music because usually music comes from the fucking soul.
Yeah,
you make music
the
for
best
you,
of it does totally.
And I played the trumpet once.
Yeah, same.
And I felt like a Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, to skip.
I see trees of green. Yeah.
That was freakishly good.
That was freakishly horrible and a terrible representation. That's what I do, everyone, for those of you who don't know.
I'm actually an impersonator of Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. Totally.
It's amazing that you have so many different groups of people on this show, and at the end of the day, you want people to get exposed. You want the best of someone to be shown on this show.
Absolutely.
And I gotta tell you, bro, me and you have not had many conversations, but right here, this is the Nick Chiapparino.
Yeah, that's the Jeff Kravitz.
I'm here. We are fucking here, and I just appreciate genuine people, man.
Totally, same.
It screams right now, and I really, once again, thank you. For being on.
Thanks for having me on. Like I said, super excited to be here. Man, I love any environment where you can have an open discussion like this, and there aren't that many, even. It's not that many that are tailored to this kind of a talk, which is, I'll be watching podcasts all day or listening to videos or something and be like, man, my mind is blown. I got to talk to someone about it. And like, sometimes my friends can listen, sometimes they can't. They're doing stuff. It's cool to be able to come here and kind of have an outlet. And I'm sure all your other guests feel the same way.
I just want, you want that cool, comfortable environment you were just saying before, like my room.
Yep. I just feel like I'm hanging with some buds.
That is the most important thing. You want someone to just totally feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And when I texted you today and I was just like, bro, I'm fucking pumped. And I was like, I told you I've been thinking lately.
Yeah.
I want whatever is on your mind.
Yep.
I want you to bring here. And you said something fucking unbelievably close to what I was preparing for tonight.
Really?
And you were talking about lack of empathy.
Yes.
Or the empathy in our society.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
How? Because this is where I'm at right now. I think about this. People in our society, all right, let's talk Western.
Yep.
Okay? People in our Western culture think ethnocentric. Okay? It's all about superiority. One, I am the only one in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And it's me only.
It's capitalism, man.
And what's bizarre to me is how do you become like that?
Yeah.
And you're talking about before, someone that watches Cartoon Network, someone watches Nickelodeon, they are raised a certain way. But how did you come across this thought to not think that way?
I wasn't always down that sort of road. How I came to that thought, I think that's interesting you asked that question. I had planned on asking, this is a talk I've had with some friends too, about how you kind of get on the wavelength. I really totally do, dude. It's late night Xbox talks are what I'm all about. But I totally lost what I was going to say. How you come to think the way you think is super interesting to me. And for me, especially with the empathy thing, I think it lends itself to... I said in the first segment that I lost sort of my religious thinking at kind of after high school and college.
A lot of people do.
Absolutely.
A lot of people do.
And, if I don't want to bash religion. If it works for you, it works for you. But, it wasn't working for me. I found something that does. And I think when I lost that, you lose the sort of good versus evil thinking. And you just think these are all different people who are living different lives and have external forces that aren't always in their control and internal forces that aren't always in their control.
That good versus evil part, when you're saying it's not us versus them.
Yeah, totally. It's not. It's just people. Even the most violent criminal who does the most horrible thing you could possibly think. How much does it suck to be that guy? How much does it suck to be the guy who wakes up and goes, I'm going to shoot someone today? He doesn't choose his genes. He didn't choose his upbringing. He doesn't choose the influences he had that made him into this, what people would call a monster. That's why I think it's important to take empathy kind of all the way down. People are empathetic to a point. people are empathetic to the victim of a crime. Of course, you have to be. But the man who perpetrated the crime deserves empathy too. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be punished for it. That doesn't mean he shouldn't go to prison. It just means we need to, by not opening ourselves up to the fact that this guy is unlucky to be who he is. It sucks that this guy lives the life he's lived and that's led him to his point. And it's not all his fault. It's just how things unfolded for him. It takes away a lot of the kind of the punishment, kind of like vengeance,
right? Revenge
thing. Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense when you look at it deeply. And I ask a question. I think this is a man he murders I don't know how many people, and you have a pill you can give him. And you can give him this pill and he'll never murder again, and it'll change his mindset completely from the mindset of a murderer to the mindset of a totally sane person.
Okay.
Do you punish this man for the murder and withhold the pill from him as punishment because he needs to pay for what he's done? Or do you give him the pill and
change him? Yeah.
And it's, I think for me, the answer is you give him the pill because, you're not going to bring back the people he caused harm to. And that's an extreme example. But
wait. Wow. Do you give the man the pill to change his life after a murder, or do you punish the murderer?
Yeah.
Wow. Thinking about crime and punishment and
totally
our society as justice and what is justice.
Yeah. It's very, and I don't claim to be an expert on this. It's just stuff I like to think about. My opinion could be wrong. It's just interesting. It's
wow. It really strikes a lot of thought for me. It's just, okay, is someone committing crimes because no one told them that it is a crime, or no one raised them to the reason and what is right and what is wrong? And would you give him the pill? I think I'd have to agree with you, bro.
Yeah,
the only way you're going to change society is to reinforce what's positive and what is right rather than negative reinforcement.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why even the idea of punishment, of course, if someone is likely to do something again, if they commit a heinous act, you have to separate them from society because they're a danger. But it doesn't make much sense to say now we have to subject this man to the most abject possible conditions and ruin his... It just doesn't make that much sense because there's so much that goes into making a person do what he does, and so much of it is totally out of your hands.
Chemical imbalance probably in your brain.
A lot of that. And if it's not in your brain, it's in, how you didn't choose your parents. You didn't choose what affected you and how it does.
Socioeconomic status.
Yeah. It's all, So, of course, I would never advocate for not putting people in prison who are murderers. But I think we just as a society need to extend empathy to the farthest possible point and try to really put ourselves in the shoes of everyone, no matter their situation, and try to understand things from their perspective. And I think we'd be better off.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just appreciate the perspective that you brought to the table today, bro.
Thank you, man.
Because this right here, that question, I'm gonna fucking end the show tonight. I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna think about would I give him the pill?
Yeah.
And then, to be honest with you, I'm a high school social studies teacher, and the population rate is 75% Latino.
Yep.
So these immigrant families, kids are working jobs, mothers are working double jobs.
Yeah.
And you think about being in those shoes and what they have to do.
Totally.
Being empathetic goes a long way. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Chiapparino is here. Dropping some serious, just genuine knowledge.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back because we need a break. I just need to take a minute for myself. Personal self. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a big funk guy. This is She's a Bad Mama Gemma.
Oh, yeah.
Carlton. Forever.
Oh,
Forever.
awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Hunt for Gold Sessions with your host, as always, Jeffrey Albert. We'll be right back.
Shit if you let me, Sometimes it ain't what you think.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hunt for Gold Sessions 25 with, of course, me. Hello. Jeffrey Albert is here. Hunt for Gold Sessions 25. Nick Chiapparino has never seen the fucking Matrix.
Yeah, I'm missing out.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Somebody get me the Matrix.
I got it on DVD right here.
All right,
You can
we're ending this and we're watching the
You
Matrix.
can fucking
Goodbye.
take it. Shut it off. And, we were just talking about during the break being empathetic to all ends. Last segment. And to all ends. To everyone.
Yes.
Of all walks of life. And the fact that you were talking about if something were to happen to you,
Yep.
you see red immediately.
Yeah.
But someone in a third world country does a horrible thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel bad for them.
Yeah.
It's like, Manchester.
Yep.
Let's talk about it right now. Manchester at an Ariana Grande concert last night. I feel like I'm a news reporter I feel like a news reporter right now. All right, Scott. Well, and a horrible fucking act. But what you're saying is, how did this person become this quote unquote monster?
Yeah, it's what's interesting to me. What we were talking about a second ago is where people choose to draw the line with empathy. And you brought up, alcoholics. You feel empathy toward them, but say this guy. Imagine what his mindset must have been. He wants to blow himself up, blow however many people as many people as he can up around him. What must his thought process have been? It's mind-blowing to try to think someone could be like that, but you have to think about, is it really his
choice?
Yeah, do you choose to be, to an extent, do you choose who you become as a human being? So when I'm born, I've said it a couple times, but I don't choose my parents, I don't choose my genes, I don't choose how they raise me, I don't choose what values they instill in me, I don't choose what religion I subscribe to and what parts of that religion influence me. And so this guy must have been in a mindset that is just so unfathomable, and I don't know how you look at that and don't feel sorry for this man. You should, and extend your empathy to him. And if we did that, we would be able to understand why people sort of get into these places and maybe do something. We have a better understanding of how to stop it, to fix it.
It does not make an excuse for the act taking place. Never.
Nope.
But think about the man doing the act.
Yeah.
Wow. To be honest, bro, you're opening me up.
I'm glad.
To a new perspective.
Yeah.
Because you at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you got to take the fucking blinders off. There are billions of people in this world living unbelievably unique lives. That all have different values, morals, experiences, and things that they hold close to them that you need to embrace and just learn from.
Yep.
And this last segment, I don't even want it to end. But this last segment is all about the floor is yours.
Yeah.
When I invite anyone on sessions, they're in the hot seat and I want them to fully open yourself up.
Yeah.
And Nick, this show is all about your gold, your message. How do you want to be remembered? I always talk about last episode with Greg Arlia, the Banksy painting behind me.
Yep.
What you do in life echoes in eternity.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
So I think about, how do you want to make your mark? Nick Chiapparino, what's your message here today? If you were to get something out.
Wow. My message. With all the empathy talk, I guess it would just be to open yourself up and try to see from as many different perspectives as you possibly can. And when talking to a stranger, when talking to a friend, when thinking about someone who's done a horrible act or a good act, or in any situation, in any context, try your best to understand what it's like for them. What it's like in their shoes, as cliche as that is.
Nah,
but
perfect,
I think I think that's huge.
To understand that there are so many different reasons why the way you are.
Yeah.
Or you are the way you are. It's fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's what choices choice as we think.
You're talking about free will, just
yeah. I'm
damn.
Interestingly enough, I'm I'm convinced now. I have a hard time articulating this way in a convincing way, but I don't think that free will exists, at least not in the way that we understand it.
Wow, give it to me right now.
Okay, so I'm a determinist, which means it doesn't mean fate. It does. Like I said, I don't think that way really, but so I keep repeating that you don't choose your parents, you don't choose your genes.
Right.
You also don't choose your thoughts. I don't know what thought is going to arise next in my head. I don't know how I'm going to come to the end of this sentence. It arises in your consciousness. It arises in your conscious. You're the conscious observer of it arising in your subconscious mind. So,
are you listening?
So when it's wow. Just this, when I kind of went down this path the first time, I was very and I didn't buy it, and I read a lot of different arguments about it, and people have different opinions. But when you think about something, really try to think about where your thoughts come from. It's not. When you really think about it, why are you making the choices you make? Why are your thoughts coming from? I could be thinking owls are cool. Might pop into my head a second from now. I have no control over this thought.
Right.
It makes no sense for me to think it. If I could choose to not think it, I would have. But I'm not in a position to be in control of that. And if you can't control your thoughts, how free are you? And so it's interesting.
Whoa. Wow. If you can't control your thoughts, how free are you?
Yeah, how your thoughts arise, and then what impacts you.
About the fucking Matrix, dude.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really.
To be honest with you, you think okay, a lot of people are on. Well, me personally, it's positive thoughts lead to positive
absolutely,
outcomes.
And that's
you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So, it's how do you now thinking like this, or how do you get to that positive thought?
Yeah.
Because there's so many people struggling with depression.
Yep.
There's so many people struggling with misguided.
Yes.
Or, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I want to be. I don't know what I want in 5 years, whatever. I don't know what I want for breakfast.
Yeah.
So how do you give advice to somebody?
It's hard, man.
That doesn't know what to do next. Because like you said before, for a second, we're talking about being present, but then so many people are worried about the next step.
Yeah.
Where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? Who am I going to marry? Who am I going to be?
Yep.
Ba.
Yeah. It's really it's a crazy rabbit hole to go down when you start to think what is really the cause of how you think. And I am a big advocate of positive thinking, and I think it's great and super important. I used to say a lot that happiness is a choice we make, and I used to really and the more I thought about it, the more I realized it ignores too much nuance for me to really because if you could just choose to be happy, everybody would be happy all the time.
100%.
So it's something you certainly have to work toward, and it's something but man, it's hard, and I mean I don't fully understand it. I don't claim to be an expert. This is just stuff I like to think about. But
wow.
Yeah, it's
heavy.
It's
man.
fascinating. Yeah,
it's heavy. To think that if you could be happy, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't everybody just be happy? Wouldn't everybody just not be crazy?
Do we put happiness in a material value? If I have this, I'm happy. Or is that a point? It's like you need to become happy with what you already always will have.
Yeah.
Which is mind, body, soul.
Yeah, you got to be cool with who you are, of course, before you're cool with accumulation of stuff isn't. I mean, for some people will love it, but I think what I hear a lot of famous people have been unfortunately killing themselves recently. You got Chris Cornell, and that was
awful.
Now I'm a huge Chris Cornell fan.
Awful.
That really.
How old was he?
52. He was 52, I think, and way too young. He's got a family. One of the most talented vocalists I've ever heard.
For sure.
And, the guy he's a millionaire. He's sitting pretty. And a lot of these guys, Jim Carrey actually had to talk about this not too long ago, where you get all this stuff, you accumulate everything you could ever want, and you realize, I'm still miserable. I'm not okay with me still. And how you get to that place is
personal reflection of yourself. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then you think about Robin Williams.
Yeah, man.
He was, God rest his soul, a fucking icon, still is an icon.
Yeah.
And
Comedic genius.
I remember watching an interview before he passed away, and he was just telling the people, it's just like, this is not real.
Yeah.
This whole facade of what I have, it's not real.
Yeah.
Unless you fully accept who you are, then you can then enjoy those things.
Yeah.
God damn.
No, it's crazy. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hunt for Gold Sessions 25, Nick Chiapparino, baby. I want to tell you right now, bro, I'm just very, very fucking thankful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
I'm
this
so
right
glad
here,
you came. Yeah,
this
you
right here,
texted me.
this goes to the next level. You know, it could be the Joe Schmo, it could be a physicist listening to this, and it's like, whoa, got some smart kids here.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Thank you.
And you know, intelligence is it's the best compliment, man.
I really appreciate it, and you
For
know,
sure.
it's fun being able to bounce this stuff off of you.
Hell yeah.
And like I said, such a comfortable environment. You facilitate conversation like this. It's the best. It's,
If
you
I
know,
can facilitate conversation with a 14-year-old about spinning
Yeah.
thingies.
totally.
You know?
Yeah, like, my buddy Rich has 90 of them, and he's obsessed. And
It's one of
they're
those things
addictive.
that I just enjoy learning about others.
Yeah, same.
You know,
It's huge.
where they come from, why they are the way they are, which is what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, it really interests me.
And ladies and gentlemen, Nick, thank you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Really, really. Hunt for Gold Sessions 25. Another session in the books, bro.
Right on.
It's been a fucking pleasure. People, this is Mac Miller grand finale. Because you think about it, hey, this life comes to an end one day. So you want to make your mark every single moment. Be present. We're talking about empathy. Think about the person in their shoes. Hunt for Gold Sessions 25. By the way, my boy Third Wave dropped a song last week called Leonardo. You heard it in the break last segment. Go listen to it. Download it. Shout outs to the team. You better keep up with us because this summer we are going to dance our motherfucking asses off. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Albert, Hunt for Gold Sessions 25. We'll be back next week. Nick Chiapparino, you're the fucking man.
You too, Jeff.
We'll
Thanks
be
for having
back.
me.
Take care, people.
Don't bang, gross gang. Smell like old man shit. The flow dangerous. Make you wanna do the wave. Throw your bitch right off your lap.